What's up, my Transformers family? Welcome back to another episode of George Reviews. I am your host. I am the 80s Transformer fan, and today on George Reviews, I'm going to assemble Transformers Haslab Earthrise Unicron. But we all know this is pretty much the G1 Unicron finally arriving, finally done justice, and finally looking like the 1986 cartoon movie. So like I stated, in this video today, I want to try to get everything unpackaged and assembled. In my last video, I did a mystery box video, and obviously in the mystery box was Unicron. I unboxed him, and in this video, I want to try to assemble him. I might go a little bit further, but I just want to get everything out of the package, take a look at all the contents, and get Unicron on the stand. And then in the third video, transform Unicron and full review the guy. So here we go. All right, in my last video, I sort of took everything out of the box and put it on the table, and now we're going to take a look at all the contents. And this is the head. I already unpackaged the head and took a look at it. I think I looked at it in my last video. If not, I've been playing with it for a few days, so it's out of the plastic already. But this is the head of Unicron. It is highly detailed. There's details all over the horns alone, around the face and the back of the head. There's actually multiple paint apps. He has a separate mustard color paint app right here in the crest of his forehead, but it's very cool. I'm not going to go that in depth into his head right now. I'm just going to show you that I unpackaged it. Then I want to check out I guess the stand. Let's go to the stand next. It's in this huge poly bag. This is the base of the stand, and from what I understand, you can put accessories in the bottom of the stand. You see what I did there with that? You can put this holds the face of Unicron, and the instructions tell you, and yeah, I got the instructions out. My claim to fame is not using instructions, but it won't happen this time. This toy is way too expensive. Anything over 300, we're using instructions. In case you didn't know, now you know. But this is the instruction booklet. Where does, I think in the first couple steps, it tells you to put the face plate underneath the stand. So in the extra jaw, or the face plate and the jaw underneath the stand. So where is that? I think it's in this bag right here. So I'm going to go for this bag and see if I can retrieve that and do that right now. In this bag is the extra face. Get my camera work down. We're going to go for this one, and it's the Autobot Shuttle. Okay, I'm going to start with the extra battle damage face plate right here, and the extra alternate jaw, because the animation in the 86 movie jumped all over the place and they wanted to get it right and they want to hear people whine about it. Take this face plate. I heard it has problems holding on. Sort of kind of snap. Oh, yep. Fell right out. Try it again. I got it in there, but yeah, that thing is falling right out. Let's try the lower jaw, chin, whatever it is. Try and get this thing to stay. There's like little grooves right here and teeth right here. You can see that. Trying to get it on there. Alright, that felt like it's going to stay. Yeah, that went in there pretty good. But as far as the head, and I already saw videos where people complained about, not the head, the face plate not staying in there. Okay, I think I got it. There it is. Alright, just had to push it a little bit harder. And now we have that part of the stand. I know I took out the shuttle, but I'm going to wait to get to the shuttle when I get to the other small accessories. And the part of the stand that connects to the base, I believe it's called the stand. Here it is. It's done in all black. A lot of people complain that it's very lackluster or subdued. And let's see how we attach this part. This way. Slide it forward. And there we have the fully assembled stand. Move this off to the side. I'm going to start with the mid-planetary rings that go around the sides of Unicron. This is bag C. I guess I should have been calling that out. This large bag here was, oh, it doesn't have a name. But back to bag C. It has the planet spikes, softer plastic. Obviously with all these spikes it's going to be soft. And this is where it holds the planetary rings. It's 2 of each. Go around the planet. And now let's go like this. We're going to go A. Bag A. One large ring. And in the bag is a bag. So it is double A. No batteries included. And here are more rings that need to be, drop this one. More rings, I guess, that require assembly. Maybe I should assemble those first before I move to the next ring. Instructions. Don't screw this up, Mitchell. Alright, it really doesn't have... Like, I've seen the videos where people say the instructions are pretty much useless. They show you the contents, which you already know, and not how to use, and not how to assemble the parts correctly. I'm looking for the planetary ring. Here's A. I guess here's something right here. All right, get this cardboard off. Instructions has this connecting to this part right here, and on this joint right here. We have that. Oh, before that I was supposed to assemble this piece. Alright, this bit right here slots in right here. Supposed to did that like a step ago. Okay, there we go, got that in there. And this little nub joint. Alright, if I'm reading this correctly, this part folds in here and goes inside here. Then this joint here goes inside here. I was trying to get into this hole, but I clearly see it goes in this hole right here. You gotta forgive me because I'm not used to using the instruction. There we go, and I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. Wait, there's actually more to this. This is the same ring connection. This is a lot of stuff. I'm going to assume, because this is my next peg or hole, and this is the next one, I'm going to connect this right here. Feels like it goes this way. Yeah, I think I'm doing this correctly. So we got this big old massive ring. I don't even have it in the shot. Trying to show you how big it is so far, and I'm barely getting it in the shot. I'm gonna set this over here. Then take bag B. And repeat the same steps. Hopefully with more efficiency. I'm not making any promises. step, you take this little part and transform it into here and connect it right here. And that creates the pegging system for this piece. I got this turned the right way. And I am done with the 2 halves of the planetary ring, I believe. Got a circle, or mostly a semicircle for the planet. How big it is. Alright, now for the smaller accessories. Alright, we're going to take a look at some of his smaller accessories. Not that the head is all that small, but we're going to take a look at that. And I wanted to get up close and personal. Here is Unicron's head once again. Taking a look at that, all the molded in detail in his head. And this is the most controversial Transformer of all time that I am aware of. They got so much love, so much hate, so much buzz. And then to add on top of all that, Hasbro made changes to their prototype model, the models that they sold everybody on, and made changes like with the teeth in the mouth. They are not painted. When they advertised this, when people pre-ordered this, the teeth were painted. But I think the teeth are not painted because they scrape against the top row, and here, and it's even spring loaded to have some give when you close the mouth. And if they were painted, it would scrape off. Some people are opting to paint the teeth, and I thought I would too, but playing with it for a little bit, I noticed that they actually scrape the top teeth, and would most likely, after playing around with it a few times, it probably would come right off. And molded in detail, I believe, and I'll put a picture on the screen, the gray paint app is supposed to continue all the way around the back of the head, and they did not do that. We can see all the gorgeous molded in detail everywhere. I mean, all over the horns. They spared no detail on this. And he looks great. Looks like the 1986 movie, even though it's Earthrise. Then the face is removable, of course. He has 2 blast points right here on his face. I'll get to that before I move the head. I don't think it's anywhere else. So the faceplate is removable. Get underneath. And because it's painted, like you want to be careful and not scrape off the paint. And here is a faceplate. It is a translucent plastic that has silver and gray overspray on it. I wonder why they didn't just cast it in one of the 2 colors. It's just kind of weird. I mean, I can see if they were going to make the eyes light up, which they should have. I'll talk about that in full robot mode. And the eyes finally are green on a Unicron. The previous incarnations, I think one of them, the eyes were green, but they lit up red, like the plastic was green. But he has green plastic in his eyes. Could be paint. Right there, this is the reverse of the faceplate. And here is the head. And he has a lot of detailed circuitry and panels molded in there. It looks very, very cool. And the eyes in his head. And the reason why the faceplate is removable is an homage to the episode, the season 3 episode, when Starscream got his body back and he possessed Scourge, and they had to perform 3 labors, sort of Hercules style, and get Unicron new eyes in the transforming cog. And one eye is supposed to be Trypticon's eye, and the other eye is supposed to be Metroplex eye, because they dropped one of Metroplex eyes and broke it. And the third labor was to bring Trypticon to Unicron to push the head down to Cybertron to connect his head so he can have a new body. But this is where that gimmick comes from. And they should have made these things light up. I've seen some customizers do it, and it looks fantastic. I don't have that skill, at least not yet. And so if you wonder why they did this is from the episode where Unicron got new eyes. And they added a buttload of detail. There's detailing on the sides of his eyes, just everywhere. I hope I'm getting all that in. Then the removable chin. The chin comes off and you can swap it out. I'll go into more detail when I get in the robot mode. But that comes off as well. And you can already see he has neck articulation. So get this assembled and move on. Alright, so that's the head. Now I want to take a look at the shuttle because it's already out. And now I don't know if this part pertains to Earthrise, but it would seem like they would have gave us the Quintesson shuttle over this shuttle. I mean, it's cool that we got it, but But Unicron, in the 1986 movie, Unicron never interacted with the Autobot shuttle. They were flying the Junkion shuttle and the Quintesson shuttle when the Autobots arrived at Cybertron. So this wasn't in there. I don't know if this is to kind of do homage the 86 movie and Earthrise, because they're flying a ship very similar to this in Earthrise. So that might be it, but I wish we had got a Quintesson shuttle instead. And they could have went all the way and made this part separate when Ultra Magnus and Springer and those guys separated the shuttle, but they did not. That's just me wishing what they had done. And it's pretty cool. It's got a little bit of molding detail, some silver paint apps. The little bit that is here is done well, so not overly impressed, but it's cool. Moving on from that. Now I have bag D. And that's a lot of small parts in bag D. Had these little rings that attach the Unicron to help hold the rings on. Scoot those back right here. And there's some type of, this is like a little stand for the parts. All right, it goes right here, I believe. Like that. All right, this little one can go, I guess it can go on either side. This little part right here. Put it right here for right now. And I believe Unicron head sits on this piece, plugs in. Yep. And the shuttle plugs on to this part as well for display. And the two smaller guys, I think I'm getting this right. Let me scoot some of this stuff out of the way, bring out the stand. Here is the display stand, and this little puzzle piece fits right there for whatever reason. Now, in this little baggie right here is a tiny hot rod, or Rodimus, and a tiny Galvatron. And when I say tiny, when I saw the video, when people show you this thing, like, it's hard to understand how small it is when you see the video. But this thing is small. And I was one of the people complaining, like, where are the paint apps? Like, they have the technology to put paint apps on it, but this thing is tiny. That is Rodimus, hot rod, whatever, front and back, a little molded in detail. And here is, behold, Galvatron. Here's Galvatron. I mean, it's just a little blob of plastic, but it does have molded in detail in the cannon, his legs, the knees, the chest, the little abdomen area. And you really can't make out a face, at least I can't. And from the back, I mean, it's a little something, I guess. But when they crowdfund and start throwing in accessories, I wanted and expected more personally. And these guys, they fit in these little holes. Not sure if it's that one, but you can fit right there on the stand, I guess, so you don't lose them. The stand. And it looks like they intended to keep coming up with figures, because I think they intended to keep coming up with figures, and then they got dropped because there are 12 pegs to place little tiny figures in. Maybe they will come out with more, I don't know, doubt it. But there are 4 here, 4 here, and 4 here. Maybe they were going to give us more figures, and again, and maybe it just got dropped. So that is the stand for the accessories. And then in this last bag are, I think, these screw hole covers for Unicron to fill in some of to cover up some of the screws in the toy. Once you reach the final assembly, you just plug these little pieces in. They have some molded in detail in them as well. And there's a little port where you plug it in the Unicron. And I guess now I need to get Unicron on the stand. And from what I understand, this is the hard part, or one of the hard parts, where which is the top, which is the bottom. All right, this is the bottom Unicron, and you got to open this up. The instructions is not clear on this, and you got to get this to go down. But apparently, instead of folding out, this piece needs to go inside, and it won't collapse inside unless you start to transform the toy some. And I have not attempted to transform this thing at all. I think you got to turn it over and loosen up some of the panels. So, which is like a bummer. Here's some insides to Unicron, which is like, you know, you pre-transform, it's kind of spoiling transformation a little bit for a guy like me to have to do this to get inside Unicron to assemble the stand. And I hope I'm doing this right. And we take this piece, and now it's able to drop down inside. I hope I'm getting that on here. Scoot over a little bit. Now it's able to drop down inside, and this piece goes inside as well. And I'm not exactly sure, does it just dangle or sit or what? I'm gonna try to put the shell back together. Alright, I totally pushed it back out of the way. I lifted up on the shell, get it to the back. So now I have the space in there for the stand, which is like crazy. I don't know why I just didn't flip out to the side and allow you to put it in there. And now you got to kind of transform it back. And again, it's like, it sort of spoils the transformation. It's sort of like opening your present halfway and seeing what's inside, then not being allowed to open it the rest of the way. All right, it took some doing. It was not difficult. It was just like over involved. Like the whole time you're thinking like, why does it have to be this difficult to open it up and repanel it? Because I had to take a lot of the panels apart. I guess I probably should have showed it. But you just unpanel it. And after doing that, I'm pretty sure I can transform this thing without instructions. Like the panels move. Look, you can get that part. The panels move almost into place when you take them loose. When I pull one section loose, you can feel it hinging and sliding back to where it needs to go. Now let me see if I can get the stand in this thing. This little slot right here indicates the front. And this little piece down here, I'll show you. This is the front of the stand, This is the front of the toy, of the display. So it's got to go in here like this. And there we have it. Unicron on the display stand. Now I can start to assemble the other pieces. All right, for the next step, I need to get the pincers out, which we have to back up. I guess I should have did it while I was doing the stand. You had to open the parts, the panels up to get the little pincers out. And this is not by instructions, by the way. I just know you have to. And rotate them out, then we have them out. Then you put the little panels back into place. Well, not so little panels. All right, I probably shouldn't have, but I just slapped them into place to get them on there. And here are the pincers. And now we want to assemble, what do we got next? The instructions say rotate them 90 degrees to add one of these. And I believe it goes this way. There's like a little warp shape that fits around this piece right here. I think there's a left and a right. Test my theory, because there's a little groove right here and there's a little groove right here. And I am correct. There is a left and a right. I don't see where in instructions it actually tells you that there's a left and a right. I guess you're supposed to figure it out. Swing it back around. And again, it's a little groove right here. And there's a little groove piece right here that lines up with it. And I don't know if it's just left out or it's supposed to be obvious. And I don't know if this thing snaps in or what. I think this other ring will hold it down once I get it in there. These rings right here. I don't know if that's the next step. Alright, and it's showing me, let's zoom in real quick. There's a little peg right here. And it ports in right here. Got it. I gotta go back and do it on the other side. Same thing. Little peg right here, port right here. Doesn't look like one, but it is. I think that's it. Return it to the front position. Sorry about the sound. Doing those steps while I added those pieces, I was actually supposed to open up the panels to make it easier, but I did not. Right, the instructions are a little sketchy, but I do believe the next step is to add these. I don't know if it's a left and a right or what. Let me see if they're identical. They look identical to me. So, and I think they go this way. They go a certain way. That's done. And I just lost the face from underneath, so be careful. I almost smushed it. It came loose. Oh, I'm working too hard. There's a groove right here. There's a groove right here. Proved to be a little bit difficult. Make sure that... Alright, now I have this piece. And the instructions is showing me it basically clicks into place behind the pincer. I see the joint. Saw the joint earlier. So I can get this panel loose. Alright. Let's remove the whole thing and alright, hopefully you can see it. Here is where it goes on and it connects right here. Doesn't feel like it's on there. Maybe on there. And then right here there is a clip and a port for that clip. Whew. Same thing on this side. Boom. And right in here. And to get it to go right here. But I mean, you can literally see the transformation. It may prove to be more difficult when I do it, but I think I can do it without instructions. Okay, and there we go. So close it back up. Okay, I promise you, I am starting to wear down. This is a chore, but it's cool. It's actually fun. I am excited why I'm doing this. I'm happy I have this toy. And next up is the Planetary ring. Okay, instructions are showing me. I think this is the top piece right here. All right, I think it goes like this. Alright, just like that. Swing it around. Add this ring to this side. Like that. It really doesn't lock in hard or snap hard. And so it's coming together now. Alright, let me get the camera up. Right, this piece swivels down and goes into the planet. It goes down into the planet like that and connects at the top. I get a better shot of that. And down here it does the same. into the planet. And you see what I'm doing? Connects down here. Just like that. And at the top. Just like that. And this is basically Unicron's completed planet mode. I did have it completed. It was a little bit off because the bottom peg has to go in there and turn a little bit. There are 2 grooves that it fit in to go up in there, but this is it. This is Unicron in its planet mode. And I didn't activate the maw. Right now is the maw. Roll smooth. I've done it 1,000 times while I did this review. My Unicron is eating everything in the house, I swear. And it works so nicely. Let's get a close-up on that. Check it out. It's molded in detailing. And a lot of people are upset about the last-minute change to gray in the inner ring of the maw. And disappointed in the fact that we don't have paint apps and a little chomping system in there. And people have now made a maw covered. I think it's like 19 bucks. I was thinking about getting it, just checking it out. I'm not upset about it, but when you show a product, you're supposed to live up to what you show. But they always say on any package, any toy, products may vary. So I get that. I don't know why they did it. Just so you can see this feature, make it stand out that much more. But I think it's cool, and this thing in planet mode is freaking awesome. And that's why I bought 2. Alright everybody, before I get out of here, I do want to give him a size up and a rundown in planet mode. So I am going to start with Generation 1 Optimus Prime. And set him down here. Next up is Generation 1 Reissue Anime Accurate Galvatron. Right there. Wait, hold him up to the planet. Next up is the Takara exclusive Cybertron from Armada in planet mode. So it scales. So I have another toy line, Marvel Legends BAF Juggernaut. I'm getting all those guys in. I'm going to go a little bit bigger. Here's Star Wars Black Series 3 3/4 X-Wing Fighter. And if you know what this comparison is, then you know. Alright, I want to bring out Playmates Castle Voltron from back in the day. Even though it's not a play set, but I mean, like, it might as well be in that category. So you can see just how massive this thing is. Alright, and last but not least, I'm going to bring out the tallest Generation 1 Transformer ever from G1. It is Grand Maximus. This toy is pretty damn big in planet mode. So alright everybody, that basically concludes this portion of my review, which is I guess technically part 2. And next I'll do the full transformation, articulation, and size up and rundown. So I want to thank everybody for joining me for another episode of George Reviews. The reviews where every toy has a story.
I have summoned you here for a purpose.
Okay, Transformers family, the last thing I want to show you is an easy and cheap custom. I went to Five Below. That's a store in Michigan where everything is $5 and below it says $5 right there. And I bought these room-to-room twinkle wire lights. 30 lights, 30 LED lights, 12 feet. And basically there's one on each side of the rings to make them light up like he should have lighted up. Hasbro should have given us them cheap baskets. But it's like the light up effect from the opening sequence of the 1986 animated movie where he eats the first planet, powers up, and goes on to Cybertron. So here's a quick look at it. Again, all I did was just wrap the wires around each ring. Easy to install and easy to remove. Alright, Transformer family, and with that, I am out.